live. We are going live. We're going live right now. Let's see. I'll tell you when I see it on my end.
Yep, we're live.
Looks live.
Hello, everyone.
All right, guys. Exciting stuff, man. You know, it never gets boring around here. There's so much news happening. It's like, how do you deal with all of it? You know, and then we got Mike fighting with a bunch of people that say it's going to happen tomorrow. He's finally waking up, realizing it's going to happen, but it's not going to happen tomorrow at a specific time. You know, when your freaking, chicken makes 3 eggs and it's like a full moon and there's a scarecrow going like this, right? It's ridiculous, all this ridiculous nonsense out there. But anyway, we do have a lot of great news for you. XRP lawsuit finally over. And I was the only one that didn't get excited because I don't get excited over 48 cents jump. I get excited when it goes to $48, maybe a little bit. When it goes to
$48. Yeah.
You know, exactly. And we have Maureen, Carol Maureen joined us from Costa Rica. Welcome. So, yeah, and it didn't jump, and people like jumping up and down thought it should have went for $5 immediately. It should have broke all-time high. It should have went to $4 immediately. She just dropped off. She'll come back in. You know what I mean? That didn't happen. But, you know, man, look, I don't know what to tell you. Someone is definitely controlling this, but I think everybody here that knows about this new financial system that's coming, and it's inevitable. It has to come because their old system is broken. They need the new one. It's got nothing to do with us. We're just going along for the ride, right? We know for an absolute fact that when it happens, it's going to be a big deal. But right now, guys, just relax, you know? And it should have at least broken $4, which would have been all-time high, right? 392 was the all-time high. It should have at least broken that, but it didn't happen. But once the big boys get involved, I think you'll agree, Mike and Joe and Elisa, once the big boys come in and they have to come in with their quadrillions of dollars and they need to move trillions of dollars every hour, and the XRP is going to be used over and over. That same XRP is going to be used over and over and over and over and over and over again. It doesn't matter about all the guys who trade. That's going to look like a crumb in comparison, and it's not going to even move the needle anymore because the big money is here. Does that make sense, guys?
Yeah. Did they really settle the lawsuit? I heard all kinds of conflicting stuff over the weekend.
It's official.
They did. Okay. Well, then why isn't it at $20, Mel? I mean, it's like
someone's controlling the price.
Yeah. It's like the gold and silver market. Somebody's manipulating them to keep them under control.
Yeah, someone's controlling the price because it's not go time yet. Because if it was go time, and the Vanguards and the State Streets and the BNY Mellon and the Black Rocks and all of that were moving quadrillions of dollars. If the SWIFT is out of the way and we're moving $5-7 trillion a day with that, and we're moving $35 trillion a day that is moved through Chase alone. Okay, look that up. Then obviously it's going to be a different story. And the guys who are coming in trading, they're making probably, I don't know, hundreds of millions of dollars a year doing what they're doing, which is not chump change, but it's not going to have an effect anymore. Does that make sense?
Well, that's the thing. It's like if a bank can take, when I want to send money to Mel Carmine and I have to do it the old fashioned way, PayPal or Cash App or write them a check, right? They take that money and then they can sit that in an escrow account where they're earning interest for 2 or 3 days before they deign to give you your money. And they're making money off that. So they don't want, there's a lot of powers that be. They don't want XRP, which just, I say, hey, I want to send $50 to Mel Carmine. Boom. That's it. There's no middleman. There's nobody making interest off my money or your money. They don't want that. So they are really fighting tooth and nail to keep this thing from taking off. And it's somehow we got to figure out who these people are and get them pushed aside. Well, I mean, I think we know who they are. But
yeah, absolutely.
Push them aside. Get them out of the way.
Right.
But anyway,
in the meantime, it's like watching, a pot. You just can't, because it's very crazy making. And then everybody coming out with all these, everybody's got a date. So you just have to just ignore it and just sit tight.
Yep. Guys, crank up your volume. Some videos don't have the volume, so crank up the volume on your end before I hit the play button. I'll give you 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's go.
Payment start on August 1st.
The only thing about that's really sacred about August 1st is that's when payments start. So they have to start paying billions of dollars to you and people. Are you a citizen of the country? All right, good. You'll be very happy because you're going to be getting a lot of money. Just like they found a budget surplus. We have a budget surplus of $25 billion. Everyone said, how did that happen? It hasn't happened in many years. It happened because of good management and tariffs.
So I don't know what a lot of money means. Maybe you guys might have a take on it, but I don't know what a lot of money means. What does a lot of money mean? Does a lot of money mean, millions, tens of millions, hundreds of millions? I know we know that with our birth certificate, for crying out loud, God only knows how much money's back.
Well, I mean, certainly billions and billions and hundreds of billions of dollars, trillions by the time it's over with, because you're going to get, you're going to get this influx, and this is other money that's being brought in through the back door, right? There's money being brought in through the back door to finance all kinds of things that we all know about and love to talk about on this show. And that money, the tariffs are just going to be the excuse for them then paying some of that out to the American people. So I think the last, like they got Doge savings of $365 billion, I think is the last time I heard the number. And they're going, well, we're gonna rebate that to the American people, and then your payments are going to start. So and they're just going to say, oh, we took in all these billions of dollars from tariffs, which I believe we did. But let's face it, there's more money than that, and it's coming from other places, and they aren't going to tell us that. So be happy, take your check, and go buy a new Porsche.
No, don't buy a new Porsche. Put your money in a Bearing account. Have the interest buy your Porsche. This way, you always have the principal.
There you go.
That's even
buy
better.
more XRP with it. Yeah, buy more XRP.
Let's watch this one here real quick. He's one of my favorite guys. I love this guy. He's amazing.
So have you ever heard the argument that if XRP ever goes to $100 or even $1,000, there won't be enough liquidity, everybody would sell, the price would collapse? Well, guess what? I'm about to show you how that's all wrong. Because technically, if adoption of XRP happens the way we suspect it may, then every single person in the world can sell all their XRP at 1,000 or 100 or even 2,000. But to understand what I'm going to explain, you'll need to understand liquidity pools. And simply put, a liquidity pool is a shared pot of tokens like XRP and USDC that sit there so people can instantly swap from one to the other without having to post and wait for a buyer and seller. It just speeds up and automates the buying and selling of assets. While XRP uses liquidity pools all over the place, Ripple also provides a service for institutions called on-demand liquidity, or ODL. And with this ODL system, XRP is and will be bought and sold instantly for each transaction, creating what's been playfully referred to as infinite liquidity. So you make a transaction with XRP and it's reused 5 seconds later for a different transaction. So the same token of XRP can process hundreds of transactions in a single day. Now imagine Ripple's ODL scales to even 10% of Swift's volume in cross-border payments. The DTCC utilizes XRP as well as other institutions and derivatives all happening at once. So massive adoption's happening. All of the institutions that don't custody their own XRP, they would be using ODL for their transactions, instantly buying XRP and instantly selling it off for each transaction, which is the core of ODL. So if XRP hits $100 or $1,000 and retail sells off, the institutions will keep buying and selling, not to hold, but to use. That's what creates this continuous liquidity. So you have to imagine 100 million transactions all happening in the same day under massive adoption. And every single transaction is constantly buying and selling massive amounts of XRP and selling off massive amounts of XRP to handle these transactions that they're sending across chain. That's infinite liquidity. Plus, add in automated market makers and Ripple's liquidity hub, and now you've got a liquidity on tap 24/7. And as a side note, institutions have two options with XRP liquidity. They can use ODL, where they buy and sell instantly, but get charged an exchange fee, or they can own their own XRP and custody it and use it for liquidity. This allows institutions to create their own liquidity pools. Amendment XLS30, for example. Now, how can they do this? They custody their XRP, and Ripple just so happens to own Medico and standard custody, companies in which institutions can custody their crypto with Ripple. The pieces are really coming together, aren't they? Like, it's all making sense now why Ripple has Medico and standard custody. They have been planning for this. So just imagine it. In a future where ODL is deeply embedded into the global finance, XRP liquidity becomes flow utility, not a storage utility. Retail could exit entirely. Yet ODL liquidity would persist because the system reuses XRP constantly, like a circulating bloodstream. But just to clarify, there's still no way that 5 trillion in fiat could meet retail XRP all at once. ODL isn't technically infinite liquidity in the fantasy sense. It is functionally infinite. The system recycles assets. It's high velocity, not unlimited depth. I hope that's clear. The infinite ODL liquidity is about recycling XRP really fast. It's not about instantly absorbing a multi-trillion-dollar sell-off. So obviously, if XRP went to $1,000 and the whole world tried to sell at the same time, that might definitely clog some things up. But if retail sells at a normal, reasonable rate, that volume would easily be absorbed into the XRP bloodstream as retail cashes in their gains. And before you try to pipe into my comments and say ODL is for institutional usage, not retail exit liquidity, my answer to that is that Ripple's been making it clear that it is working toward a unified liquidity framework. A real example is that they're connecting their Prisma aggregator to XLS30, the on-chain automated market maker. That means their ODL, liquidity hub, and even retail DeFi pools will eventually meet the same liquidity system.
Been investigating using DEX services for ODL, and that would include being able to trade against AMMs. That doesn't currently happen. Prisma can use DEX liquidity. Prisma can also use multiple exchange liquidity, and it can break large transactions into smaller transactions. It can aggregate them to sort of more intelligently take advantage of liquidity. So that's what Prisma does. We have started a major effort to integrate DEX use into ODL.
So if you weren't bullish before, you better be now. Wealth, love, and authenticity to you all.
I mean, if that video does not get excited, you need to call your local funeral parlor and make some arrangements because you're fucking dead. I mean, let me explain that to you.
It was a little dry, though. It was a little technical, dry. A little bit technical, a little bit dry.
Okay, because let me explain that to you in layman's terms. Okay, let me stop sharing that. How do I do that? Stop sharing. Okay, somebody from the United States sends some money into Mexico. It turns into XRP and then it turns into the Mexican peso. Somebody, here's try one more time. Costa Rican internet.
Not the internet, it's StreamYard.
Somebody from the United States send money to Mexico, turns into XRP in seconds. It turns into the peso, and it stays parked there now in XRP. That XRP stays in Mexico. Somebody from Mexico needs to send that money to the Philippines. It goes instantaneously to the Philippines. It turns that XRP into the Filipino peso, and then it parks there as XRP. Somebody from the Philippines needs to move that money to Canada. It automatically transferred over to the Canadian dollar, and it moves over, and it stays parked in Canada in XRP. And then somebody needs to move it to the South Pole, whatever. It gets used over and over. It's like a joint at a Grateful Dead concert that just gets passed around. You understand? It never goes away. Okay? That's what this is. When you understand 100 quadrillion, not maybe 100 trillion % is coming because they have to move all the money, and all the money means minimum 100 quadrillion, and all the big players are in, and that XRP gets used over and over and over again. You come to quick realization, shit, 50 billion are already sold out. 50 billion are in escrow. There's really about 36 billion. Some of it got lost, right? 36 billion in escrow is not enough to move all the money on Earth. It is actually, but it's going to be worth a big, big number, which means the XRP we hold also is going to be worth a big, big number. Does that make sense, Mike? Does that make sense, Elisa? Or am I talking out of my ass?
No, it makes total
makes
sense.
Makes sense.
Wild shit. Wild shit. Anybody comments?
Oh, go ahead.
Anybody have comments on that?
Well, I think what it's telling everyone is that the utility of what XRP is and how it works, to Mike's point before, why would you want this if you're making money in the old system?
Correct.
Right. Unless you hold XRP and you have money in the old system.
Yeah. Now, my question for you, Mel, you said 100 quadrillion. Do you really think that's the number? Because I've heard much higher numbers.
A conservative number. I think it's a very conservative number. When you take into account all the money that they've been hiding from us, the derivatives market, the real estate market, the gold market, the silver market, governments moving money back and forth. Yeah, the Vatican, corporations moving money from corporation to corporation, the remittances market, whatchamacallit, Chase Bank moving $35 trillion a day. It becomes staggering, the number. So the people that understand that, which is a very small number, I believe there's going to be no buyout. I used to say there's going to be a buyout. But when you start to really look at this thing, you start to go against your own story. And the reality is, not everybody understands the XRP to the fullest extent that they need to understand it. And at $100, it's going to go up in increments, maybe $20, maybe $25, $30. By the time they'll park it at $20 to see how many takers do we have. Boom. And they're going to get all the people that don't believe it's never going to go to 25, and they're gone. And then they're going to bring it to $30. Let's see how many takers we have at $30. By the time they get to $100, I guarantee you there's 2% of the hardcore XRP people left. 2%. That means 98% gave it away for $100. Why would they buy it from you at $100,000 when 98% of the stupid dumbasses, the chicken brains, are going to relinquish it and sell it at $100 max? Why would they pay you $100,000 for something you're willing to sell at $100? It makes no sense. There's going to be no buyout. So the guys who are talking to God out there, without mentioning their names, tell them Mel Carmine said, "You're full of shit." Got it?
Got it.
Okay, let's go to the next one.
What was that, Mike?
All right, here we go.
Nothing. I just said I got it. I'm listening.
But today, seemed to clarify that he's not going to fire him. So we got to wait until May. And Scott Besson is going to he's holding a process. Let me ask you something you mentioned before on digital assets. Can we focus on that for a minute? What's he done wrong?
Well, he put banks out of business. And he has withheld master accounts from financial institutions that would seem by statute to qualify to receive them. I think he's overextended his authority. And in addition to that, it's like whack-a-mole trying to do business with the Fed. Nobody will take responsibility for who is the bottom line on dealing with issues, whether it's the Fed presidents, the bank presidents, the head of bank supervision, the chair of the Federal Reserve. It is, Larry, you wouldn't believe what a morass that place is.
Is the Fed blocking the cryptocurrency revolution, in your judgment?
Absolutely. The manner in which banks that were dealing with digital assets as borrowers, and they were put out of business, literally, by the bank regulators at the Fed. And those were solvent banks, Larry. Those banks were not failing.
And the Fed wants its own central bank digital currency, which would be a lousy idea, don't you think?
Terrible idea. The United States doesn't need a direct-to-consumer CBDC or a wholesale CBDC. Now, Jay Powell agrees that we should not have a direct-to-consumer CBDC. I agree with him on that.
Let me explain to you guys, layman's terms, right? Why the central bank digital currency will never, ever exist, and why the Mexican standoff is still here. And then you'll understand. I'm going to crystallize this for you. I hope. Okay. There we go.
For anyone with dental issues.
We still got like some background noise. Is somebody playing a radio in the back? Is that you, Mike? Unless you want to show something.
Nope.
Okay. All right. So check this out.
No, I'm not playing anything.
That was me.
XRP is going to be part of what? The Treasury. Okay. That application has already been put in and accepted. Ripple has applied for a bank charter. I've said years ago, before any XRP Army 1.0, that's why we are XRP Army 2.0. Okay. And they copied me. And you can go back to my videos. And 4.5 years ago, I said XRP Ripple will become a bank. It's there. It's in the videos. And that's happened. And that's getting ready to manifest. And Ripple will become the biggest bank in the history of the world. The central bank digital currency. For all you people that are new, I know that you old timers that are here, it takes 12 seconds to learn this. I could send the XRP, and many of these tokens work exactly in the same fashion, directly to your wallet. Do I need a central bank digital currency? Do I need to send a letter of permission to the Federal Reserve or the White House saying, hey, I'm about to send some money to Joe because I'm going to buy his thing that you tow there. What do you call that thing, Joe? That thing you like to live in sometimes?
The Airstream land yacht. Yes.
There you go. The Airstream land yacht. He wants to sell it to me for $17,000, and I'm going to send the money directly to his wallet. Do I need a central bank digital currency? If the answer was yes, the Mexican standoff, I can assure you, would be the fuck over right now. If they can put that into law, where they can get their piece of the pie, and they would force everybody to go through a central bank digital currency, that means they're adding another bridge that we don't need because XRP is already the bridge. And I could send it to anybody here. Anybody could buy my chair, which is not for sale at any price, because otherwise people won't recognize me anymore, right? And they could pay me directly for whatever it is. I'll sell you my peace flag, Joe, for $10. Send the
nice
$10
flag. Yeah.
Okay.
I need that.
I could send you. You could send the money directly into my wallet, right? So therefore, the central bank digital currency goes away. Ripple becomes a bank. The thing that's standing in our way right now is Jerome Powell, the interest rates, and the Federal Reserve needs to go away. In my opinion, I personally believe this. I'll make another prediction, and you guys can say, "Hey, Mel Carmine said it first." I think Donald Trump is going to go gangster. I think he's going to take a playbook out of Brooklyn on this one, and he's going to say, "Wait a minute, you guys have been printing money out of thin air. Your money's backed by nothing, which means it's monopoly money, and you've been asking us to pay taxes on stuff that you can print money to infinity. I don't know why, and we've accumulated a $39 trillion debt with you, and you guys expect us to pay you back. How about fuck you? I'm not paying you back." And he's going to tell him
that's
to
what
go,
the that's what the Confederacy said to the Union back in 1859. We're not paying your debt, and of course we ended up with a bankers' war called the Civil War. But Mel, I think you're right. That's what's going to happen, and I think, based on my best guess, that's going to be happening on the 23rd of this month. So let's watch. Let's wait. Let's have some fun. That's when the Federal Reserve meets in Jackson Hole, 24th, 22nd, 23rd. Announcements come out on the 23rd. Watch that. Watch that meeting. That may be Jerome Powell's swan song.
Now, do I trust DeSantimonious, the governor of Florida? No. Do I like him? Well, I like what he's doing. He's doing everything right, except the chemtrails are still up there, by the way, dude. And but the bottom line is his sights are on the White House. We know he's never going to see the White House because people like me will make sure, because once he goes into the White House, he's skull and bones. He's Yale skull and bones. He is going to take the mask off, and you're going to find out that DeSantis is on the part of the new world order, which is really a new world disorder, and they're going to get out of our balls. And I'm going to tell you right now, they're losing by a lot, but he is bringing in no taxes. He's pushing. He brought in some tax czar. Here, I forget his name, some bald-headed guy with a goatee, and they're really pushing hard to get rid of property taxes in Florida. Okay, so property taxes are going away, income taxes are going away. There's no more taxes on pensions. There's no more taxes on tips. So for all you valet parkers out there and bus boys, bus girls, waitresses and waiters, you're awesome, right? No more taxes. It's
well, the thing that does, Mel, the thing that does, especially setting the precedence on property taxes, is it sets the precedent, right? Then other states have no reason to continue to tax other people's property. And it also sets up a legal challenge, which you can take directly to the Supreme Court, where you can finally maybe get a ruling that property taxes are illegal. I mean, property taxes are literally anti-constitutional. You go back to the Articles of Confederation, this entire country, and this is why, by the way, the Supreme Court is set up to only rule on the Constitution, not the Articles of Confederation, which formed the Republic. The idea that you can tax somebody out of their property is unethical to what an American is. That's exactly the opposite of what this country is supposed to be. So let's get it out. Let's get it in the process. Let's get the rulings and eliminate property taxes forever.
But Mike, isn't most of what we're living with unconstitutional? Let's be real. I mean, I agree with you. Like, we got to start one step at a time and set some precedences, right? And that's what Florida seems to be doing for the country. But if everybody stood back for a second and realized that every way we live just about is unconstitutional and meant to destroy us and prevent us from ever
but here's
being
the clever part.
wealth.
Here's the clever part, Elisa, which is that the entire New Deal is extra constitutional. So every government agency that was created after the New Deal is extra constitutional. Therefore, they are actually non-governmental agencies. But what Trump is doing is Trump is using those agencies to forward his agenda. Therefore, he's going to force the Democrats to oppose him doing that. But if they aren't careful, they're going to get the ruling that's going to allow him to shut the entire thing down and say, okay, there's no more FBI. There's no more IRS. None of these agencies exist because they're all extra constitutional. So I think, if I'm right, and I'm hoping he's as smart as I think he is, that's what he's maneuvering them to. He's saying, fine, okay, we're going to have all these illegal organizations. I'm going to use them to push through all the change that I want. And the only way you can stop me is to get rid of them. Now, personally, all he has to do, really, Elisa, is terminate all the states of emergency in the United States that the United States federal government is under, because that's how they operate. That's how the Department of Agriculture operates, and the FDA and all these agencies, because there's a declared state of emergency. I went to the White House website one time and discovered we were under a state of emergency under Bill Clinton in 1994 because of the serious threat presented to the United States by Serbia and Montenegro. So they keep recreating a different fake state of emergency so they can justify the existence of these agencies. You pull that out and the whole thing becomes illegal instantaneously. However, I think what Trump's probably up to here is he's trying to get them to get rid of them themselves. And meantime, he's going to use the executive he has to shove this stuff down their throat.
Yeah. And as we do that, I mean, it's very well orchestrated. There's no ifs, I believe, to what you're saying. I think it's just a matter of when and how that everybody can see this. Well, I really do.
Yeah, I don't know how orchestrated it is.
Well, I think it's all orchestrated towards NESARA, because all of this has to do with the elimination of anything pertaining to anything related to the corporation.
Right. If you actually push through. Yeah, I was going to say, if you actually push through all these agendas, what do you end up with? It's called NESARA. It's basically the list. So that's the ultimate direction we're headed.
The ultimate test marketer. Trump is the ultimate test marketer. He was in your neck of the woods somewhere in Vegas doing a big rally, 89,000 people. And he's talking about no taxes on tips and no taxes on, pensions and all of that. He goes, you know what? Screw it. He goes, let's just get rid of taxes altogether. And then all of a sudden he pauses and he's looking around. Why is he pausing? Why is he looking around? Because he's test marketing. He's test marketing. He wants to see the reaction from the fucking people. That's why.
And he does that. He's done that all the time. Yeah, he's done that all the time.
Yeah.
Right?
Has he said that very often, Mel, or was that kind of a one-time thing about?
No, he's done that a couple of times.
Multiple times. Yeah.
In Vegas.
Yeah.
Right? And he's test marketing to see the crowd reaction.
Right. Wow.
You know, there's an interesting comment by Laura Lebo. I hope I said your name right. Where she's,
Yeah.
I don't know if you can pull that up, Mel, but August 15th was when Nixon totally removed the gold standard. So I see Trump returning gold standard on August 15th.
Wow, good point.
Albert Pike's letter date too. Albert Pike's letter. We know
Is it
August
Albert
15th.
Pike's? Oh, wow. I did not know that one, Marie. Wow.
Well,
Okay.
Jason Q says it 100 times. We should know it. August 15th, Albert Pike.
But anyway, my wife just came into the room. I figured I do, and she sent me a note.
What does that say? It's hard to read it, Mel. What?
She said, "You are alive, so be careful." You know,
I was going to say something about the chemtrails in Florida. I think the states are only up to a certain height, right? In the skies, and then the federal government is above that, so they can go above those heights. Apparently,
yeah.
is that
Well,
true?
as far
Or
as
that
the spraying that they do.
spraying? Yeah. Well, the chemtrails.
It's illegal to do it in Florida, and they have a hotline for you to call and leave a voice message if you see them. And I left a voice message that said, "My name is Mel Carmine. I'm an international podcaster with hundreds of thousands of people that follow me. I need to speak to the governor. Give him my number." Okay. We got chemtrails all over. They're spraying us at 4:00 in the morning when we're sleeping. Let's break the monotony here. Let's go into a little bit of flat Earth, because this one is something that caught my eye, and I think it's going to catch your eye too. Tell me if you guys can see that real quick.
Yep.
Yes. All right, crank up your volume just
Yep.
in case the volume is not high enough on your end, guys out there. Okay, here we go.
Attention to all. Attention to all. Check this out. Now, if this doesn't look like a boat going through water, I don't know what does. Look, it looked like it just hit like a little wave, didn't it? Watch this now. Look, I'm going to back it up. I'm going to show y'all, man. Watch it. Wom, wom, wom. Watch it. Wom, 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 wom. You see what I'm saying? Like if you're on a Sea-Doo or something. I mean, y'all know what I'm talking about, man. Or like on a little jet boat or pontoon. It don't matter, man. You were hauling butt, though, is all I'm saying. I mean, really, man. Let's be realistic for a minute. Let's be adults here. Tell me. Exactly. Boat going through water is exactly what it looks like. So what do you think it is? What's it doing? Hitting something?
What do you guys think about that? Does it look like something's hitting some kind of water? I mean, this is laws of physics, and we have to use our discernment and common sense, logic, truth, logic, and common sense. To me, it looks like that's a possibility.
It does look like that. The naked eye, yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, that guy has a lot of boater experience from the way he was talking. I don't want to question that. That guy knows what's going on there. So,
what you're looking at is a rocket flying downrange and staging. You have to use multiple stages to get to orbit. So you're seeing the explosion of the separation of the two, the ignition of the second stage. The second burst is like usually the docking ring gets jettisoned depending on the design of the rocket. And you remember, rockets don't go straight up. They also travel downrange. That's why when you see the arc, it moves away from you. And they do this, especially from launching in Florida, because they want to launch out over the Atlantic Ocean in case there's a problem. The debris doesn't rain down on people. It rains down in the middle of nowhere. Or, like when Elon Musk launches from Texas, it goes out over the Gulf of America, or the Gulf of SpaceX debris, as it's also known. And these are just standard safety practices. And also it allows you to, on the space shuttle days, there were places like in Rota, Spain, where they could land if they got into trouble at a certain altitude. So it's not kind of unusual at all. It's the same thing. I've seen launches here in Vegas out of Vandenberg, and it kind of looks like they're going sideways when in fact they're moving away from you and flying downrange to catch up to the spin orbit of the Earth, which helps lift the rocket up. So now it's not going through the water, I don't think. I'll be really shocked. Out of everything that we get the truth out of, I'll be really shocked if the Earth is flat. That'll be the biggest one ever. I'm just not there for that. Not going for that.
Okay, you guys getting a double echo?
What's that?
Are you guys getting a double echo on your side?
No, not me.
I am, because I'm in the room doubles. I mean, I need my wife's assistance if we can get me one of my doubles out of here. Let's see. Maybe I can figure it out, or maybe not.
Hey Mel, I did send you a clip on censorship, but now that you can't hear me, I'll just.
Right now.
What happened to Mel?
There's
Here.
2 Mels.
How do I get rid of it?
One
Hold
is
on.
Amber, I think.
He's right there.
Yeah.
His voice is on one and his face is on the other.
Oh my god,
that's scary.
Yeah, I could screw up
Scary.
technology. I don't think I'm the only one though. Yeah, there's 2 of me.
We do get a lot of
There's 2.
activity with flat Earth, though. It is interesting to see the emotional reactions.
We're testing the waters, just like Trump does.
yes. Well, we did an amazing show with Honey and Lisa, and if anyone wants to dig further into that, we're hearing things that's neither round nor flat. It's somewhere in between, more like a toroidal field. We did an amazing show with Lisa on that, and that consensus is becoming a lot more, I suppose, of a thing, because I don't know, flat Earth just seems too easy. It's too I don't think it's either, that's just too easy of an answer. I think there's something more to it, and since we're dealing with energies and vibrations and frequency, it seems like something flat just doesn't encompass enough of the field, I suppose, of what's possible. So that's our take on Truth Stream. It's neither flat nor round, or it's both, but it's a toroidal field. So like I said,
well, it's
check
definitely
out
not round. It's spherical.
Yeah,
it's spherical, not round. Just to be technical.
Joe, what's the why don't you tell everyone where if you said you just did a show on that, so where can they find that if anybody's interested?
I'll pull up the link. We did it in the last couple months. Honey C. Golden and Lisa Schermerhorn are amazing truthers that are friends of mine and Carol's, and she's down there nodding her head. Yeah, I'll post the link for folks, because it was the first I'd heard of it. It was 2 years ago when Honey talked about it. It was a theory I hadn't been aware of, and Honey, she travels into the Akashic records, into the astral, and Lisa and Honey do teachings, and they're very, I don't know, they're just really great, well-rounded people. So I like to share their theory with folks. So yeah, let me find that.
I like this one. This particular.
Yeah, I have that one.
Well, this is awkward. I can't quite. There it is. Well, this is awkward. Look, everything in the universe is spinning. The planets were formed when the plasma from the sun, it got too much angular momentum. It spun off the planets as big plasma balls. They spiraled away. They cooled. They formed the planets, with some of them gaseous, some of them rocky, some of them super Earths. Some of those exploded over time, and everything is spherical. And I'm very comfortable with the idea that we live on a sphere, and because everything in the universe has spin energy and toroidal energy. It spins in a torsional state. So it's just like, yeah, and we don't really study that in physics or even talk about it. So,
well, I think that's what we're just trying to do, right? Just get the conversation going, because it just goes back to what they told us, what we were taught, what we were indoctrinated, and might not be the real fact or the full story. That's all.
Well, I had a guy this week tell me that, if you look at the UN, they have all these maps of the Earth and they're all flat. They're all viewing from the North Pole and they're all flat. And I'm like, okay, how do you put a globe onto a flat 2-dimensional piece of paper? I mean, the only way you can display it is the flat Earth top-down thing and flatten it out, or a Mercator map. That's it. That's why we make globes to map the Earth. That we use globes, because you got to have a physical globe to wrap everything around if that's the shape. So it doesn't, I don't think it's a very good argument. How else do you represent the Earth? Are they gonna use a symbol of a globe? Okay, I'm cool with that.
Well, cool. Maybe we're just on a pizza. It's a round. It's a round sphere.
Yeah. All right, guys, let's watch the documentary. and I'll be right back while you guys watch the doc. Can you hear me? I think we fixed
Yep.
everything. Perfect. I'll be right back. Did you guys hear it?
Yep.
Oh, there's no volume.
Oh, no.
Dear Mr. Dear Mr. President.
Dear Mr. President.
Dear Mr. President. Dear Mr. President.
Dear Mr. President. Dear Mr. President, when did freedom of speech become a crime? In the land of the free, voices are vanishing, opinions are policed, truth is under fire. They say it's about safety, I say it's about silence. Who's watching the watchmen? Who's filtering your feed? Who benefits from your silence? From the classroom to the newsroom, from Silicon Valley to Washington, D.C. Who decides what you can say?
Censorship.
Censorship.
The censorship.
Censorship. It's a much bigger threat to democracy than anything that we've seen in this country in the last 4 years, in the last 40 years.
Our First Amendment is under assault, not just by big tech, but by government agencies. Voices are being silenced.
A world without censorship would mean we can freely expose the elections and, of course, child trafficking. I believe the American spirit would kick in if they had access to the real information.
We've had channels taken down from nearly every form of social media. We knew when you uttered the term fake news that you were up to something different. We're honored to contribute to this documentary on censorship.
I have only one thing to ask. I just only want to see some accountability from somebody. Just pull that pin and throw that grenade already, buddy. That's all every American wants to see, is just some accountability for the crimes against us all. Thank you, sir. And long live the Republic.
Well, I can tell you that it's coming along really well. The documentary we should have a fourth
live.
cut. Are we live?
Yeah.
We're live.
No.
Yeah, we got that's like last week's show.
Yeah.
I want to get out of that. Okay.
There's Mike.
Yeah, there's Laura.
Yeah, the documentary is coming out really, really well. There are some new things in it that are coming in today. I'm hoping to have a private screening, no later than, I would say, Thursday, Friday this week. So, Joe,
Nice.
if you're available, you're invited. You guys are invited. It's not going to be perfect, but it'll be like 98.988%. So it's going to be
Nice.
good. Yeah.
Nice. Hey, Mel, real quick. I sent you I think this is really recent. It's Trump's not only signing, but speaking about censorship. I just sent you the clip in the private chat. It's about a minute if you want to play that. I think it might be exciting, especially for this topic.
Which private chat did you send it to?
Private chat on the StreamYard.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's the top one. It's the X post from Joe KAQ Army.
Okay.
If you need me to email it to you, whatever you need, I can resend it.
It's on the computer, Mel. Like if you go to
Yeah,
where the people's
instead of
comments and then the
Yeah,
private
go to
chat.
private. There
on
we
the right
go.
side.
So we're saying the same thing.
Where's the private chat? I don't see the
You
private
go
chat.
to the right of your screen
Yeah.
in StreamYard, and it says
to shrink it
comments and
down.
private
Private,
chat.
I see it. Private. Yeah, I got it.
There we go. So it's the first link. It says link on censorship. The first thing I sent you. The other link is
Yeah, it's like an hour and 48 minutes long.
No, it's a minute and 40 seconds. It's like a minute, few seconds long, I think.
All right, private chat. Hit private chat. There's 5 people.
Yeah, it's
in the
58
studio.
seconds.
It says Truth Stream Joe.
No, it's a Rumble link here.
No,
Yeah.
not the Rumble link. It's the X link. It says link on censorship. I'll send it again.
It's there. I
Um,
see it.
You want to play it from your side? Elisa?
Yeah, I can play it. Here.
Okay, now I see it. Now it's here.
Okay.
Now it's here.
Okay, good.
Hold on.
Yep, play it. Let's see what
Can you see that or no? No, right?
No, we don't see it yet.
Okay, great. Let me exit out of here because I have to play it from here. I have to open up a new window here and
whatever's easiest.
Yeah.
Copy
the link. Okay.
Yeah, Trump removing all censorship in all social media in the USA is what the headline of it is.
Okay, great. I got it. I got it all queued up. Give me
All
a
right.
second. Volume seems to be good. It's 58 seconds long. Perfect.
Here we go. Let's get your guys' feedback on this one.
Thank you for sharing, Joe.
Sure.
Here we go.
Oh, the anticipation.
Yes.
Therefore, today I'm signing an executive order to protect and uphold the free speech and rights of the American people. Currently, social media giants like Twitter receive an unprecedented liability shield based on the theory that they're a neutral platform, which they are not an editor with a viewpoint. My executive order calls for new regulations under Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act to make it that social media companies that engage in censoring or any political conduct will not be able to keep their liability shield. That's a big deal. They have a shield. They can do what they want. They have a shield. They're not going to have that shield. My executive order further instructs the Federal Trade Commission, FTC, to prohibit social media companies from engaging in any deceptive acts or practices affecting commerce. This authority resides in Section 5 of the Federal Trade. Therefore, today
You think that maybe our movie is coming out at a bullseye moment?
Yeah.
I think so. I don't know if this is really from today because, sometimes people will post something that may be older. Does this look current to you guys, or is this something that he signed previously?
Typically, we'll say like when it was sent, when it was done.
Does it have a date on the X post?
This is, who's posted this? My boy Jess, the guy in the garage. He doesn't post anything that's old.
Yeah, Mr. Red Pills, JOKAQ Army.
That's one of his channels. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. This looks recent, which is good.
I mean, that's good, right? That's some motion forward, I suppose.
Well, like I said, right now we are on the midst of launching. We found an underground public relations company for a press wire release. We're doing 6 press wire releases, 3 and 4 days apart from now, all the way until all the centers and all the private corporations and the motorcycle gangs and everybody who wants to show the video to large groups, including my friend Jim Gale, who's showing to about 60 people that come in there 2 days in a row. He's got 60 people one day and 60 people another day. All the centers with the scalar wave technology like we have here in Cape Canaveral are showing all over the United States. There's 28 centers so far and climbing. That's exciting. I know you're working on getting a few theaters. Where are we on that, Elisa, by the way?
So we have right now we have one that looks like it's going to go definite in September. And I've got a couple more that I'm just waiting to hear from. There's nothing definite to tell anyone right now, but I'm talking to a lot of private.
Lisa Schumahorn is working on a couple in Vermont too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Cool. Awesome.
And Nancy Addison did send some stuff too. I'll send it over to you, Elisa.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
And, we're into frequency, sound, and vibration. Then, the best way, some of these centers can hold, 50, 60 people, some of them even more. Some of them are showing the movie for the entire weekend. Some of them are showing them for a couple of weekends in a row. They're into what we're doing. We have an actual information about them censoring our center in the actual movie itself, which is exciting for them. So we're doing product placement about our technology, which is going to benefit everybody who owns a center out there, right?
Mel, when do you think you're going to have a list of all the centers around and the locations so that everybody, depending on where they are, they can at least at minimum participate by going?
Yeah, the only thing they need to do is go to dearmrpresident.net, dearmrpresident.net, not .com, .net, and there'll be a list of all of the locations, what times, what days they're playing, all of that. the name, the telephone number, the email address, the contact person. We're going to be very, very thorough. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
This is a very, you've seen geometric shapes of water when they put sound to it. Now they've added color to it to actually drive it home even more. Yeah,
This right here is why you need to question everything in life. This is a cymatic pattern. This is what happens when frequency is pitched into water. They're also shining a light on it. You can see the different patterns. Now watch this, guys. Now this is what the stars really look like when you zoom in on it with a high power zoom camera. The Nikon P1000, the camera that was discontinued after NASA allegedly bought them out.
Wow.
Coincidence that is. What does this look like to you guys? This is why you need to question everything. The stars are frequencies of light within the waters above the firmament. NASA has been lying to you your whole entire life. Every single one of our ancestors told us we live under a dome or the firmament. There's waters above the firmament. The stars are on the firmament. Exactly what we see. You need to look within for the real answers. Peace and love. This right here is why you need to question.
Pretty wild, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Sounds pretty good to me.
Yeah, we have a lot of sound bowl activity inside our healing center with the scalar going at the same time. It is wild stuff. I don't know if you guys have never experienced something like that. I urge you to. It's really amazing stuff. I don't know what happened to the chat window. How do I get back to the chat window, guys?
Just click from private chat over to comments.
Yeah.
It looks like there's some of our viewers in here. Vegas 68.
There you go.
Yeah, I didn't even have time to put this on Rumble, so that's great.
Yeah, it's on Rumble right now. It's on your Rumble.
It's on yours. No, I just put it on our X and our YouTube because I couldn't set. And for StreamYard, you still have to set up a Rumble. So it takes some time.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? You have to set up a live stream, and then it finds the live stream, and then you can stream to it on StreamYard. It's weird. It's weird.
Right. So I didn't want to delay people another 10 minutes.
Yeah. Vegas 1968, what I have to say about those images is that they're camera artifacts because the graphic chip can't process the level of detail at that distance. You're looking at an object that's hundreds, tens of thousands, millions of light years away, and it's just creating artifacting as it tries to process the information. So that's all that is. It's very common. It's been, that whatever the zoom is on that camera, assuming he's telling the truth that that's the camera and the zoom lens they use, it's not good enough to image stars from this distance. The only thing that can do that are telescopes, and telescopes have to stay open for sometimes hours to get an exposure of a far distant star, or even a star that's right next door, like Alpha Centauri. So that's all you're looking at. There is a graphics artifact because the chip can't process the information from that distance and with that level of luminosity. So, it's kind of cool, but it's just a camera artifact. Sorry, hate to be the naysayer here, and stars are probably a lot different than what we think they are. I'm not going to argue that, but there are people who say that sunspots really are holes in the stars, that there is nothing inside of them, that they're singularities or black holes, and that they only have a surface that glows hot because the energy coming from higher dimensions. I think that's distinctly possible. Sorry.
I thought this was really cool, guys. I thought this was really cool, and I want to share this. This is really wild. I love this. As a matter of fact, I'm going to buy some of these clothes. Amber, buy some of these clothes. Here we go. Share the screen. Bingo.
Are they linen? Are they linen?
We can have them making linen for sure. Can you guys see my screen? You guys see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like
those clothes
following you and they're detecting who you are. These clothes undo that. I love that.
They look
they look great. Like Archie Bunker or something after you do this podcast stuff.
Yeah, right. Is there a volume to this? I don't think there's a volume to this.
What exactly are they showing?
They're showing clothes. Yeah, there is volume. I don't know why there's no volume playing.
You have to turn it on.
That
click. Click. There you go. Okay.
Look, he's got a box around him. He puts the clothes on. The box disappears.
Oh, okay. So it kills the tracking.
Oh,
yes. Can't you put on can it be a better looking shirt than that, bro? I mean,
It doesn't matter. I want that to be like my next merchandise.
Yeah.
But wait, but it does.
The Mel Carmine cloaking device.
Yes. Is this wild?
So wait,
Yeah,
you
it
put
must
it on, and describe one more time what's going on here for the viewers.
Yeah,
Well,
what it does
okay.
is it's camera.
Yeah, it's like facial recognition, only it's like supposed to be body recognition. But what's happening is something about the pattern on that shirt and the colors deactivates it, makes it stop. Well,
Because
no,
it's got a
still
bunch
working.
of people walking on the shirt. The picture of the shirt is a bunch of people.
Confuses it. There, that's it. So it confuses the AI, just like the traffic chip got confused with the star.
Wow.
It just confuses it. Ah, ha, ha.
Well, you could probably get the youth culture to wear something like that, so they're confused about so much anyway. Probably a lot of liberals. They might love that shirt. They'll think it's cool.
Yeah, no question about it. No question about it. But you know, this is one video that really caught my eye, and I think you guys will resonate with this completely. I'm gonna rewind it here, cue it up, and blow it up. You know, this is what I think it's all about at the end when we get to the end game. There we go.
I have no intention of waking my children up at 6:30, 7 a.m., feeding them some shitty breakfast, getting them ready in some crappy school uniform, and then dropping them off with other people to raise them all day. I think as a society, we've been tricked into thinking that is normal. It's actually been much more normal to sleep in the same house as your kids, wake up and spend the day with them, and not drop them off, or not leave them searching for us. And actually, I've molded my life in a way that allows me to live with my kids, that allows me to not need to wake them up at stupid o'clock, that allows me to allow them to wake up when they want to wake up and to have that freedom. That's how humans were designed to live. We weren't designed to put such rigid schedules on children from the age of 4 to 5 years old. That is just not a thing. And I have no intention of doing that. I have.
Is that
Beautiful.
wild?
4 to 5? How about 2? How about people that send their kids to this regimented? I mean, listen, and I'm not putting anyone down, because if people have to make money or whatever their lifestyle is, I'm not. But you know, from the second these kids are born and women have to go back to work, you're leaving your kids for what, 6, 7, 8 hours in a daycare, and it's the same schedule, you know, and it's just so sad.
And who's going to
I went,
more than you?
Go ahead.
The way than you are.
Yeah.
You know, I remember I used to go to school, you know, and I was gone 5, 6 hours, whatever the school day was, right? And I got up maybe a little earlier than I wanted to. But when I came home, my mom was always home. Mm-hmm. So I always had the family environment. Now they've even stripped that away, which makes it even worse.
How many people here are fans of Brian Artis? Everybody.
Yeah.
A billionaire patient. This guy comes in, he's been to the Mayo Clinic 5 times in 2 years for 3-month stints at a time for a condition called aphasia, which is what Bruce Willis just retired from Hollywood. Your brain is thinking what to say, but your mouth won't say it. It is delayed. On the intake forms, he actually had 5 different prescription medications.
Allegedly.
3 of them were cholesterol drugs, 2 of them were high blood pressure drugs. But I didn't know how long he'd been on them. I just saw them on there and by name. So I went home and I wanted to know, of these pharmaceutical drugs, I wonder if any of these are published in peer-reviewed published research studies to be known to cause aphasia. I printed out these research studies, and as they're flipping through it, they had no idea that the cholesterol drugs had a published side effect to cause aphasia. I said, can I ask you when you were prescribed these drugs? And he said, 3 years ago. I said, how long ago did your aphasia start? And he goes, 2.5 years ago. And I said, okay, you're going to stop your cholesterol drugs today. He came off the drugs within 2 weeks. All of his speech was returned.
Wow.
Hello.
Yep.
Wow.
That's a doctor saying it.
Yeah, cholesterol is an essential ingredient for your brain health, and these anti-statin drugs, create. I don't want to get us into too much trouble here, Mel. I better watch the way I say this.
Yeah,
they contribute, or they've been thought to have an effect on dementia, because the war on cholesterol is really a war on the human brain. It's a war on people's thought processes. And if, you know, I don't care if you're 35, if you start taking those drugs, then you're going to develop dementia, early onset, almost immediately, because the cholesterol is the fat in your brain that your body needs to think and process and retrieve the signals from on high, from your higher self. That's why they've pushed these things up.
Well,
and
you know, Mike,
I'm never taking
also, right, and it's also you know, the whole war on eggs, right? You shouldn't have eggs. You shouldn't. They're no good. Too much cholesterol. But it's really interesting because the brainwashing on people is so intense. I was just at a meeting yesterday, and there were, you know, pretty much naturopathic doctors, and they were all talking about, oh, have you had your cholesterol checked, and talking about numbers and this and that. And I, you know, I don't, sometimes you can't, you know, I just had to like walk away because I was like 3 people that were literally in a bit of fear about, you know, how terrible the cholesterol is.
Yeah, well, we know that it's a war on the crown, our crown chakra, or crown energy, and that's Corona, right? That's why they switched it to COVID, because Spanish. But it's interesting that Trump's signature is actually a crown.
Oh, wow.
Interesting.
You didn't see that before? He's always signed the crown.
That, Carol.
Well, I have a friend of mine just brings me hats all the time. I've got every type of hat.
Let's watch this short video on XRP. This is a really good video. It's short and sweet.
I need y'all to stop scrolling and listen.
Crank up your volume.
Blame Jerome Powell for everything: inflation, debt, and the collapse. But I'm going to be crystal clear with you. This is the plan. Trump replaces Powell, slashes rates, prints money like never before. And just like that, the dollar hyperinflates by design. Why? Because they're not trying to save the old system. They're trying to take it out. They need it to die so they can roll out the shiny new one. You're not watching economic policy.
It's a little quiet, Mel.
Yeah, it's a little low. That's why I said crank up the volume.
Crash the dollar so they can roll out the shiny new one. You're not watching economic policy. You're watching a controlled demolition. Once they crash the dollar, they'll introduce the solution: digital dollar, tokenized assets, instant settlements across a brand new financial internet. This isn't a guess. The rails are already built. ISO 20022, XRP, Quant, XDC, HBAR, XLM. The public's going to panic. Those who are paying attention, they'll be holding the infrastructure of the new future while the rest scramble for answers. Don't wait until the lights go out and the rules change. If you don't understand this transition, you'll be financially erased.
Very powerful. I hope you guys cranked up the volume on your end, but very powerful video. I mean, we are literally at the precipice of something big happening. I don't know if we're going to do a Quantum Summit Part 3. I talked with Amber about this, and I'm not sure. I'm sort of undecided. If I do it, it's going to be next year, probably a year from September coming up. Sometime where maybe Miami, maybe Vegas. We're not sure exactly yet. We are completely undecided. And there's my dog being very, very naughty. He's asking me to take him out. Amber, can you take him out? Is Amber even here? Who knows?
Mel, what's your thought on why you want to wait a year? I mean, I know just so
well, I want to do something extravagant. And I think September of next year, I would be absolutely depressed beyond recognition if XRP is not at least $50 to $100.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, Mel, again, I'm going to encourage you for Vegas because Cape Canaveral is beautiful and it's nice. And I like it.
I'm going to do Miami or Vegas, one of the two.
But Vegas has there's all the flights coming in here, all the hotels people can stay. It's a great vacation spot. I think people will be like, wow, Quantum Summit, Mel Carmine, and I get to go to Vegas. I think you're going to be stormed. Yeah.
Well, I think the $50 XRP is going to make it's going to shrink the world because everybody will be able to afford it. $100 XRP, not even a question about it. There's people that I know personally who own, 10 million XRP, literally. As a matter of fact, there was one, without mentioning this person's name, there was a little bit of a security breach. And because it was a security breach, we had to move the money directly to one of my brokers, one of my international brokers, like in the middle of the night. And we got that done for her. On one wallet, she had like 2.5 million XRP. And there was somebody in that house that she didn't trust that was finagling with her wallet. And she got scared. And they said, hey, we gotta move that money now. And can you help me out? I got in touch with the owner of one of these companies, and we were able to put it on a cold storage on the internet very quickly for her. And she was like, because she it could be like that fast that somebody can get their hands on your shit who's not a team player, is not on your side, and you can go from almost becoming a billionaire, and you can be known as the person that almost became a billionaire. Someone else took your shit, right? So yeah, that's what we're up against. But we got it done. So be careful out there, guys. Anybody tells you that, hey, send me 500 XRP, I'll send you back. Those are all scams. Okay.
Yeah.
If they say, Mel Carmine, my name is Mel Carmine, put your money in my Jasara wallet, I won't do that. Okay. I don't have time for it, and I don't scam people. I make my money legitimately. If you need a broker or brokers, international brokers, you need a lot of XRP. I'm one of the few people that can get you that. I got, not to brag, I'm not saying this to be braggadocious, but I do have clients who own private jets who buy, $2, $3 million, $4 million, $5 million, $10 million worth at a clip, like they're buying a chopped liver sandwich. So contact me on my personal Google Voice via text. I could do more than $10,000 in XRP. My name is so-and-so. Text me at 786-704-8817, 786-704-8817, and I could get that to happen for you very, very quickly. Typically within 5 days, 7 days, you'll have your XRP directly on your hardware wallet, the only place you should keep it, and have your key phrases in more than one place. And make sure somebody that you love knows about those things, just in case something catastrophic happens to you and someone else can get to the money, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have somebody drop off?
What's that?
I think we had Mike and who's back? Mike's back. Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, no worries. It's good. I think this was a great show. I'm sorry for being late, guys. That happens sometimes. We're trying to get a new show started either Wednesdays or Fridays. I met these wild guys on X.com, all mostly paisans, and we hit it off. It was like perfect chemistry, and the room was going wild. And I was one of the speakers in one of the live spaces recently. And if we can get those those three guys, including Mel Carmine, 4 of us in a room, we're going to capture lightning in a bottle, I promise. So stay tuned for that. Yeah. So that's going to be exciting. 2 of them are on board. One of them works a night shift, and we're trying to work that out. And the other one is we're trying. I don't know if he's playing hard to get this paisan, but I want to see him probably in the room later today or tomorrow, and say, "Yo, bro, what's up?" And he'll understand that kind of language. But guys, it's been real. Just keep investing. The movie is coming out. We're shooting for all the whatever movie theaters, independent movie theaters, and all of the scalar wave centers, whatever. Probably towards the end of the 3rd week of August, and September, the 1st or 2nd week of September. Most likely by September 9th, there'll be a global release to the entire world via the internet. And if you could donate, go to our donate button. I know the movie's free, but if you can donate, because we're out thousands and thousands of dollars. All right. And we like to get those press releases going. Elisa, I know you're going to do a good job with that. I think we finally found. Can you hear him barking?
Yes.
It was very cute. Yeah.
He's a Costa Rican asshole.
Dog. He's just a dog. Come on. Don't say bad things about your dog, your pooch.
Crispy,
come on,
relax, dude.
Is that Crispy?
Yeah, Crispy. Yeah.
Aw.
Yeah, we named him Crispy because we met him. We adopted him from Crispy's Chicken.
Oh wow,
chicken. So he became Crispy.
That's cool.
Yeah,
That's so funny.
Hysterical, right?
And guys, if there's anybody out there who we're always going to keep putting a plea out there. If you do have local theaters or someone that wants to, or an organization like Mel said before that wants to do a screening, just get in touch with me. You can reach me as well at you could just go to my email, which is elisavl16@gmail, and just tell me.
Well, are you guys going to rent a theater out, or what are we doing for that?
No, we're looking for theaters that want to do this free, because
Okay.
it's a documentary. So we're looking for independent. Mostly, you're going to get independents, right? Like the AMCs of the world, right? We're not going to go there necessarily. We would if they wanted to do it, but we haven't had luck. So independents or even organizations like what Mel is doing, where he's got the EE centers that are gonna, they have seating and do an event. Any kind of
Right.
group, dependent.
Yeah, if you want to have a block party and invite 39 of your neighbors, we'll give you the private link, and you can play it for your neighbors and have a block party and invite everybody in your neighborhood to your house if you got a big enough place, or they can bring their own chairs, whatever, their fold-up chairs. This guy saying, can you get XRP after RV? I have a bit more funds then. Yeah, listen, my friend, with all due respect, okay, when the RV happens, XRP is going to be untouchable. Can I get you XRP? Yes, but it's going to be a much higher price tag than $3.17, I can assure you. So the answer is yes, I could do that. But you're probably, XRP is probably going to be worth, I don't know, who knows?
Throw at least $50 at it.
Yeah, right now. Yeah,
something now. Just do something now, because you'd rather have what?
Buy $50, buy $100 now. When you got extra $100, sacrifice not going to the movies and sushi. Sacrifice not going a day. Say, honey, listen, we can be rich if we take the money from the sushi and the pizza.
Yeah. Or if you're single and have a prostitute and cocaine habit, just kick that for one weekend. Throw $1,000. Come on, let's dig in a little bit here. Let's have some fun.
I want to.
I can't believe somebody said that on the show and it wasn't me. I can't believe.
Sakes, come on.
So also, as a mom, right, of a 19 and 20-year-old, you guys, have you seen the way these kids just throw away money these days?
Oh, geez.
Maybe just tell them if they have 50 extra bucks from their job, $100, just get some XRP. They will be very happy about this. Yes. And, tell the young people too. A lot of them have a sense of what's going on with crypto more so than some of the older people, but remind them, if you have a birthday coming up for one of your kids, I don't know if they need another shirt or, another accessory, maybe get them some XRP that they can have. So it's just a thought.
Yep, absolutely.
All right.
Yeah. So listen, if I had no XRP and I have the knowledge I have now, and let's say I had kids, I know some of you guys have kids. I don't yet. I will after I come out of the med bed and I regress myself to like 25. I'll have maybe 10 kids, who knows, with like 10 nannies traveling with me all over the world. But the reality is I would have my kids out on the sidewalk selling freaking lemonade. Yeah, lemonade at $20 a glass. I say, my mom and dad need to buy XRP. Please buy my $20 lemonade.
Please buy my lemonade stand for $500.
Yes. I would do whatever it takes. Have a garage sale, sell some shit you haven't used. One man's junk is another man's treasure. Get rid of your shit and turn it into XRP. No excuses. You might have a boat that's rotten in your backyard for a long time. That's probably worth $5,000-$6,000.
Yeah, there's eBay, there's Facebook Marketplace, there's OfferUp. Get rid of that shit. Let's just come on, jump on board.
I want to create wealth, man. I want the little people to win. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, XRP is not yellow.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what? I will never sell my XRP because I'm afraid, because I'm one of the guys that woke up so many people. They're probably watching my account saying, Mel Carmine just sold his XRP. Let it go. Let it climb. Make sure that motherfucker never gets back in. Right? I'm afraid of that. So I don't sell. I'll sell my other shit. I'll sell some of my VeChain when the high tide comes, and I'll sell my RSR and I'll sell my Stronghold, whatever. But I'm not going to sell my XRP, XLM, or XTC. Those are off limits.
There you go.
Yeah, so I'm sending out a
All right.
message just in case they have that, program, right? Guys, it was real. Thank you. Let's do it again next week. And don't forget, if you want to buy XRP, you want to buy a large amount, you know how to get in touch with me, 786-704-8817. Do it now. Thank you.
Mel, you got lots of shows this week, don't you?
Oh, man, I'm getting booked now. That email worked. Thank you.
Well, I think you have 3 tomorrow. So
I have 3 back-to-back tomorrow. I have like 2 back-to-back the next day. I don't care. I'll do like 17-minute shows real quick, real punchy. I'll show the trailer. I'll show the other video where we do a fundraiser, which is a really cool video as well. Maybe we should show that before we go. What do you think?
yeah, just to let the audience know, he'll be on with Joe tomorrow, I believe, and Dylan Lewis Monroe, the map maker, and there's one more there. And then I think Wednesday it is, or Saturday, Friday, Mark Atwood. And Wednesday night you're on The Time Is Now. I just don't have the final time. I think it's
Yeah,
like
let's
8
show this
o'clock.
final video,
Yeah.
and then we'll close it out with this video. Guys, here it is. This is a short little clip.
My name is Mel Carmine. This movie will be free to the general public to view in movie theaters and online when it is released. But let me be crystal clear. Freedom is not free. This documentary is still in production, and without your support, it may never reach the hearts and minds that need it most. While the enemy floods the world with lies and bullshit propaganda, we're putting everything on the line for you to expose the truth and defend our republic from collapsing into full-blown Marxist communism. This is America's final stand. If you understand what is truly at stake here, your donation isn't charity, it's your obligation. Whether it's $10, $50 or more, give what you can. Because if you can help and don't, what will you tell your grandchildren when they ask what side of history you were on in 2025? In the name of our Almighty God, do the right thing. Help us finish this fight. Everyone's freedom depends on it. President Donald J. Trump cannot do this alone. Stand with him. Stand with America. Use the link below to donate.
Please too.
My name is.
So, the advantage that the cabal has over us. Yeah, I love that shirt.
No, it's not a shirt. I don't know what it is.
Okay. Whatever it is, we love it. But anyway, the advantage the cabal has over us is the fact that they can go to printing press and they can fight us with money they're printing out of thin air, monopoly money. We don't have that luxury. So we depend on you, the people, to part with $10, $20, $30, whatever it is. Everybody doing a little bit equals a lot. The more, listen, I'll put out 19 press releases a day if I get that much money to just really just pound the airwaves to make sure that we cause a major buzz out there. This movie is going to be a major hit. I was shocked with what I saw yesterday, guys. I can't wait to show it to you on Friday, Saturday, the private screening, Thursday, Friday, or Saturday, the latest. We're going to have a private screening, and get ready to be knocked off your chair. It's that good, really. Thank you, guys. We'll catch you on the next one.
Bye-bye.